Heyo, my name's Doc, and I'm here with a video for absolute beginners for ukulele. So if you just got your ukulele in the mail, never played an instrument before, you have no idea what you're doing, this video is probably for you. We're gonna go over the parts of the ukulele and then how to tune it, and then we'll get into some more advanced stuff in other lessons. But this is basically just how to get your ukulele into playing order. Okay. So, this is an ukulele. Now, the pronunciation that most people prefer is ukulele, not ukulele, like is probably more popular in media. This is what's called a tenor ukulele. Okay, so this is a larger size. It's not the traditional size. Right here, we've got more of a traditional size. This is a soprano body with a tenor size neck, so you can see it's got the same neck size as this one, but the body is much smaller. So this is more like in line with the original ukulele, and probably what most people think of when they think of an ukulele. But I'm going to be using this one for demo because this is my favorite ukulele. Alright, so pretty simple instrument. Looks like a guitar. It is related to the guitar, it's kind of a cousin. Similar origins, I suppose. Plucked lute, chordophones, I don't know. But right here we got the body. Got the upper bout, lower bout, the top, sides, the back. Got the neck right here. Then we've got the head with the tuning pegs right here. You can see right there in the gears. I've got a tuner right here. And then we've got the strings that are attached to the tuning pegs. The strings run over this thing right here. This is called the nut. Then it runs over the fretboard here. The fretboard sits on top of the neck. And then on top of the fretboard are these metal things. Most of the time they're metal. Sometimes they can be plastic or nylon or whatever gut. These are called frets. Alright? So the strings run over the frets and the fretboard. Down here, over the sound hole, they run over the saddle right here and are attached to the bridge, okay? The strings, when you pluck them, vibrate the top, vibrates the air in here, and the sound shoots out. The ukulele is usually louder from the front than it is like for me who's playing it. That's one thing to always watch out for. You're not exactly hearing the same thing that the audience is hearing. But yeah, so simply like that. The strings right here, these ones are Worth Browns. There's lots of different string materials, nylon, nylgut, fluorocarbon. Some instruments can use steel. A lot of them are metal wrapped. A lot of the nylon ones are metal wrapped. Originally, the strings were probably like plant matter or animal intestine. Like they used to call it cat gut, but it wasn't made from cats. It was like cattle gut. It was usually made from like cows or sheep and goats, I believe. It's like the same stuff that you would string a tennis racket with. Yeah, so the strings right here, you pluck them and they vibrate. And that's what creates the sound. It vibrates the top and the air shoots out. Now, the strings, if I turn this and tighten the string, the sound gets higher. If I turn it the other way and loosen the string, the sound gets lower. So a tighter string produces a higher sound than a looser string. And by that same sort of law, a longer string creates a lower sound than a shorter string. Right here, I'm essentially pressing the string down so that it's pressing into this metal fret right here, thereby shortening the string, or the part that's vibrating. This part is no longer vibrating. This is the part that's vibrating. So the string is essentially shorter. Because it's shorter, the note is higher. So longer string lower, shorter string higher. Tighter string higher, looser string lower. Alright? So we need to make sure that we use these to tighten these strings so that they're hitting the appropriate notes so that we can play the ukulele. And what are those notes? Well, most ukuleles are tuned G, C, E, A. Okay? G, C, E, A. From here to there. This is the fourth string, the third string, the second string, and then the first string. That's right, the first string is on the bottom on most instruments, and then they go up top towards you. So it's G, C, E, A. Now, if you're a total beginner to music, you probably don't really know what that means, but we have notes. There are 12 of them. There are 7 letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then they all have in between, or not all of them, some of them have an in between that add up to 12. So A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F sharp, G, G sharp, 12, and then back to A, right? So there are 12 notes. Now, obviously, we know that there are more than 12 notes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we got 20 notes right there. So what does that mean? Well, they repeat each other in a circle. So when you get back to the end of one, it starts again. So it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And so A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, so on and so forth. So yeah, we're tuning these to G, C, E, A. We need to make sure that we're tuning them to the right G, C, E, A, correct? Because if the notes repeat each other every cycle, then we want to make sure that we're in the right cycle, or octave as they call it, because there's every 8, there's a same note, they call it an octave. So we want to make sure that we're tuning this G, C, E, A to the right octave, okay? So I can strum that and it's not tuned. Yours probably didn't come tuned out of the box. If it did, well, that's cool. But it probably didn't. So we're going to learn how to do this, okay? So first, you want to figure out how these turn. Tighter, tighter, looser, looser. And then right here, tighter, looser, tighter, looser. Now, your ukulele should probably be strung in a similar way, but if it's not, that's okay. Just figure out the way that it's strung and which way you can go tighter or looser, okay? Now, I'm going to teach you how to tune the ukulele in 2 ways. First way right here is with one of these tuners right here. This is a clip-on tuner that works by vibration. And after this, I'll show you how to do it with an app on your phone. But first, we're going to learn how to do this. So this is a clip-on tuner. I turn it on, and it senses the vibration and tells me what note it is, right? So let's say, for instance, I pluck that, and it's telling me that's a C. It's almost exactly a C. If it's in the green, it's a C. If it's a little below, in the red, it's a little lower than a C, or flatter, we say. And if I tighten it up here, you see it's on the other side. Now it's a little higher or sharper than a C. And if we go so sharp that we go into a new note, that's now C sharp. See the little little thing next to it? You might not be able to see that, but now it says C sharp. But regardless, that's not the note we want this to be. We want this to be G, all right? And so now we need to get it to a G. We need to decide if we want to go up or down, okay? This is too low. It's very floppy, the string. See how floppy? So we need to go up until we get to a G, okay? So I'm going to keep tightening this until I get to a G. D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. Now I want to get it into the green. Boom. G. All right. So that's G. Now, this is where ukuleles get a little complicated. Now, there's 2 popular kinds of ukulele. High G and low G. Now this is a tenor and low G is more popular on tenors than it is on other sizes, but you can do either on or. So that just means that the note up top, the G note, is a little bit different on these. These three strings are going to be tuned exactly the same on a low G versus a high G instrument. But these ones, this one up top, the fourth string, is going to be tuned different. They're both going to be tuned to G, but they might be tuned to a different octave of G. One will be higher, and one will be lower, okay? Sorry, they're not exactly... probably should have tuned it before the video, but they're pretty close. You get the idea. So yeah, one will be high and one will be low G. They'll be the same note, but just in different octaves. The original ukuleles had high G. It's a little unusual to have a higher note, a higher string up here. Usually the strings go higher as they go down towards the floor. So this is quite unusual in the instrument world. It's called re-entrant tuning. You don't see it too often. Five-string banjo is another one that has it, but it uses it a little bit differently. That's used as more of a pedal point or a drone. But that high G gives the chords a particular sound. So you need to know if your ukulele is a high G or a low G, right? So if you already know, great. Don't worry about this, but if you don't, you got to figure it out. So you can pretty much tell by looking at it. So if your G string right here is similar in thickness to this one right here, it's probably a high G string, right? But if it's thick like the C string or thicker or wrapped in metal, then it's probably a low G, okay? So I'm going to continue this with a low G. So we turn the tuner back on. Oh, we went a little flat. So one thing you'll find is that these strings may take a while to break in. You may tune it and it may go out of tune very quickly because strings take a while to settle, especially new strings. If they're brand new strings, they could take up to a week to settle. So bear that in mind. There might not be something wrong with your ukulele. You just need to wait for your strings to settle. So that's why I recommend when you're a beginner, constantly tuning so that you're not playing an out-of-tune ukulele. You might not be able to recognize it in your ear that it's out of tune, but you want to get used to hearing in-tune notes so that you can recognize them in the future. So, we got G, right? Now we got to go to the next one, C. This is supposed to be C. Well, for instance, we're at D right here, so we could go down to C, couldn't we? Now we're at C. But that's not right. It's too low, and the string's too floppy. It's too loose. So we're in the wrong octave of C. We need to go up another cycle. So we need to keep turning this sharper until we get to C again. Understand? If you don't understand, that's okay. This is complicated. Music can be very confusing to people who have never done anything like this before. Just like trying to do math if you've never done math. So if you're having any problems, just drop me a comment and I'll be happy to help you out, okay? Alright, so we need to keep tuning our C note. G sharp, A, getting close, B, C. There we go. Alright, so now we need to go to the next note. G, C, E. So we're at A sharp, and we need to go up, because this is too loose, this is too low. So we need to go up till we get to E, okay? C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. Get it to the green. E. Now G, C, E, A. This is too low, too loose, so we need to go up. F, We're pretty close though. F sharp, G, G sharp, the closer you get, you kind of want to go slower so the string doesn't snap. A, get it to the green. Alright, so we've tuned to G, C, E, A on our ukuleles, alright? But like I said, they take a while to settle, so after you just spend all that time tuning, you gotta go back to the first one and tune it again, okay? See, we're too low. It has unsettled, so get it to G, C, E, A. G, C, E, A, alright? And that's for low G ukulele, right? If you had a high G ukulele, you would want to keep tuning this one until it got up to here. So just so you can hear it. Alright, so let's go back to the low G, because that's what I play, mostly. Alright, so we've tuned to G, C, E, A. Let's get it back. Okay? Alright, but now I'm going to show you how to do it if you don't have a tuner, if you don't have one of these, alright? So if you have a phone, you can still tune it. There's plenty of apps that allow you to tune it. So I'm going to do that right now on my iPad, and I'm going to turn on screen recording so that you can see what I'm doing. So yes, here's my iPad. Go to the App Store. Now you could just type in tuner, chromatic tuner, ukulele tuner, but we're going to find one that I like called Piano Tuner. Piano Tuner Lite. There we go. Works for me. Download it. Open. Yes, it needs access to the microphone. Now there's ads on this one, but it's still my favorite tuner. Now you can see as soon as you start talking, it's going to start jumping around, right? Because it is not a vibrational tuner. It is actually hearing the sound in the air. This one works by vibration, so it doesn't work if it's not attached, see? Whereas this one will. Alright, so we need to just tune this. Now this tuner is also handy because it'll tell you which G you have. As you can see, the G we're at right here is 196 versus a lower one, which would be, obviously not all the way down there, but you get the idea. Alright, so this tuner works exactly the way you just watched with the clip-on tuner. Get the note. If you go too far, you gotta go back down. Now here's a note about tuning down. If you go too far, don't tune down to the note, tune below the note, then tune up to it, okay? Insider tip. Always tune up to a note, not down to it. Alright, G, C, E, A, G, C, E, A. Alright? So we've tuned our ukulele. Alright, that is the most important part. That is step one of being an ukulele player. You shouldn't rely on someone else to tune your instrument for you, at least not after the first couple times. Of course, if you just get it, please have someone help you. But this is an important step, is knowing how to tune your ukulele. And you always want to tune your ukulele before you play, because you don't want to get used to playing with out of tune notes. Your ear won't grow as swiftly and efficiently. You always want to be tuned, and you want to be kind to your audience. It's about respecting them too. You don't want someone to have to hear you play out of tune, because it's really not fair. You might not be able to hear the differences yet in your ear, but someone else will be like, oh, that might be out of tune. So you always want to tune your instrument before you play. These kind of strings you'll find are sensitive to temperature fluctuations. So if you go outside or in the sun, if it's cold, they might get higher. If it gets hot, the opposite, or what have you. So just watch out for that. And if you put a capo on, you always want to tune after you put the capo on and after you take it off as well, okay? So that was tuning. That's all we're going to learn in this video. This is just bare bones video. In the next video, we'll learn how to hold the ukulele and how to produce pleasurable sounds with it, okay? So thanks for watching. Once again, my name's Doc. If you like my lessons, subscribe to the channel. I do lots of stuff with ukulele, banjo, claw hammer, ukulele, all that kind of stuff. So check back in for the next lesson.